And hello, movie lovers. And tonight I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of fun facts for the 1982 Poltergeist movie, of course. And I just want to say I hope that everyone's having a great and awesome spectacular day or night. So with that being said, this movie was released in 1982. Poltergeist remains a definitive haunted house film that dominated the subgenre for decades and still does today. With the combined efforts of Toby Hopper and Steven Spielberg, much more on that later. It brought haunted house cinema from creepy, descripted mansions built in the 1800s to modern-day suburbia, in a way of making it feel much more real. Its contribution to horror can't be overstated, so in honor of the 40th anniversary, we thought it would be fitting and fun to look at fun facts about the poltergeist. The word poltergeist comes from the German poltern to knock and geist, spirit, so it literally translates to knocking spirit and was already a semi-common term in the psychological field prior to the film. And also too, another thing I want to bring up is the first references to the word itself dates back all the way to the 1700s. The project itself began as a sequel to Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but then developed into its own original story. And also, too, in every early stages of development, Spielberg approached Stephen King to write the screenplay. However, it ultimately went nowhere, as they never agreed on terms, which is really kind of interesting at the fact that, Spielberg actually asked Stephen King himself to do it. And of course, I don't think that Stephen King would want to take on something like this. But still, it's interesting to know that, in fact, Stephen King was basically the person that Spielberg chose to actually do the early development of this film. But also, too, another thing I want to mention is this. Long rumored to be cursed due to the tragic deaths of Dominique Dunne and Heather Rorrock. Sorry if I butchered that, I didn't mean to. This was the subject of an episode of Shudder's original series, Cursed Films. However, some have argued that pertaining to the idea of curse, wrongly synthesizes these for very real and very tragic deaths. And I would just want to say this. The Eli Roth documentary that I'm mentioning is very interesting to actually check out, because I thought it was really fun to sit there and look at all this stuff. Matter of fact, I believe it's still streaming on Shudder. So the original idea for the film came from the true incident in Denver back in the late 1800s. The city was building a park on top of a cemetery, and the coordinator only moved the headstones, but left all the bodies. And by the time it was discovered what he had done, it was too late and too expensive to move everything else. After seeing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Steven Spielberg was impressed with Toby Hooper and decided to hire him to direct. Another long presiding rumor is that Steven Spielberg secretly directed Poltergeist. The rumor allegations that Spielberg was unable to direct both this movie and A.T. in the same year due to DGA rules, and that Toby Hopper was a figurehead. Obviously, Spielberg was very involved as both a screenwriter and producer, but the rumor itself came from a reporter who was visiting the set. Spielberg was quoted as saying Hooper wasn't a take charge kind of guy. Many fans took this mean that he was directing the entire movie, when it was actually its own uncommon for a producer to step in to direct a scene here and there. Years later, Spielberg took back his quote and stated that Hooper's contribution were invaluable. These rumors even prompted the Directors Guild of America DGA to open an investigation. However, they found no evidence that Spielberg contributions warranted directed by credit. This controversy was further fueled by the 2007 interview with Zelda Romenstein, where she claimed that Spielberg directed her for all 6 days she was on set, and Toby Hooper required certain substances to function. Her claims were disputed by James Cameron later that year, at a 25th anniversary Q&A, where he stated that Hooper was incredibly kind to everyone and he didn't know why Romenstein would speak of him like that. Spielberg even has childhood fears of clowns and trees outside his windows at night, were the inspirations behind some of the terrors that Robbie faces. Instantly, Drew Barrymore was being considered to play Carol Ann. While Spielberg felt that she wasn't quite right for this role, he decided to cast her in E.T. instead, which I think that was actually a perfect choice to cast Drew Barrymore because I think that she stood out in E.T. Despite playing her mother, Jo Beth Williams, Diane Freeling, was only 11 years older than her on-screen teenage daughter, Dominique Donna Freeling. In the movie, it's mentioned that they are 32 and 16, respectively, while in real life, they were 32 and 21, respectively. However, the film's novelization clarified that Donna and Stephen's daughter from previous marriage and that Diane was her stepmother. Zelda Rubinstein was cast because she had a medium in real life. That's really interesting to me because of the fact that you have some realism mixed in with this movie. The movie is very similar to the 1962 Twilight Zone episode Little Girl Lost. That deals with a girl getting pulled into another dimension in her house. The infamous jump cut that goes from the kitchen to Stephen at the neighbor's house was the result of editing out a line about hating on Pizza Hut, which Pizza Hut was upset about. I imagine so. But Pizza Hut was actually the best place to actually eat pizza back in the 80s and 90s. Just saying. A common reason city from this film's alleged curse is the fact that the real skeletons were used during the pool scene. While this is very much true, it isn't as scandalous as the conspiracy theorists suggest. Real human skeletons were often cheaper than creating a realistic-looking fake one. And many films had been using them for many decades, so it wasn't at all of the ordinary of the movie prop business. That's kind of creepy. All during production, Jo Beth Williams claimed that she would come home every day from filming to find her pictures on the wall crooked. The Freeling house exteriors were shot at 4267 Roxbury Street, Semi Valley, California, 93063. The house itself had only just been built in 1979 and remains in private ownership today. Last being sold in 2009, according to Zillow, the 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathroom, 2,373 square foot home is valued at $1,060,100 million. And you can see that right below. Robbie's bedroom is filled with Star Wars memorabilia as a nod to Steven Spielberg's good friendship with George Lucas. The iconic chair rearrangement scene really was done in one take, and it helped the pyramid of chairs was already assembled and attached as one piece. So in under 7 seconds, crew members had to quickly remove all the chairs in place of the pyramid on top. So there you have it, guys. That's some of the facts about Poltergeist. What did you think? Did you guys learn something new about Poltergeist? Well, tell me in the comments below. If you're the first time viewer for this channel, do us a big favor, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Tell us what you think about this segment for these fun facts and trivia. I really would like to know what you guys think. Also, too, tell me if there's some stuff that I left out that you guys feel like that I should actually know about, and maybe I might actually do a full follow-up for part 2 for Poltergeist for some more trivia facts. So that's going to be it for me for tonight. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Have a spooktacular day or night. Wherever you guys are watching, have a great time and a great day. Bye-bye.